coming up on Retirement Solutions Television.
The bottom line is, as it relates to Social Security, is you've got to get this right. There are so many ways that you can get it wrong, and that's what we want to share on today's show.
And the mistake that some families will make is they will try to maximize Social Security in a vacuum. But you need to take all of the other counts into consideration, and that's what we consider and call the optimization of Social Security. Very, very important when you look at your overall plan.
Learn how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits that are rightfully yours with a Social Security analysis. This is where you'll learn exactly when it's time to optimize your benefit, how you can reduce or eliminate your taxes on those benefits, and see if you're eligible for additional benefits that could put thousands of extra dollars in your pocket each and every year.
And now your hosts of Retirement Solutions Television, the Retirement Brothers, Tyson and Ryan Thacker.
Welcome to Retirement Solutions Television. I'm Tyson Thacker along with my brother Ryan Thacker.
We've got a great show for you today. It starts right here, right now. Welcome to Retirement Solutions Television. I'm Ryan Thacker along with my brother Tyson.
And here are three numbers that will blow your mind. There are 2,728 rules in the Social Security Handbook. There are 567 different ways to claim Social Security benefits, and as much as 10 billion, that's 10 billion with a B, in Social Security benefits that go unclaimed every year.
It's complicated.
The bottom line is, you're right, Ryan, that claiming your Social Security benefits is complicated, confusing, and riddled with trapdoors. And if you make one little mistake here, it could cost you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential benefits. And that kind of money could make your 401k contributions look like what?
Chump change.
Chump change. Coming up on today's show, we'll share some little-known strategies to wring every nickel out of your benefits. Plus, if you're eligible for additional benefits that could put thousands of dollars in your pocket each and every year. Ryan, the bottom line is, as it relates to Social Security, is you've got to get this right. There are so many ways that you can get it wrong, and that's what we want to share on today's show.
Well, it is complicated. They make it really easy getting the money in, but it is not so easy to get the money out, and you would think it would be opposite. But even a recent Forbes article talks about there's mistakes being made in the frequently asked questions of the Social Security website. So it is not a one-size-fits-all. And if you make one little mistake here, it's going to cost you the money. And it's very, very important to know how and when you should claim.
You know, and I think of a gentleman that just recently came into our office. And the very first thing he said to me was, I have spent the last 2 days straight trying to figure this stuff out on the internet. I've been researching, I've been looking, I've been writing stuff down, and now I'm more confused than ever. Can you please make this simple for me?
Well, and I think that's what everyone wants, is they want simplicity. And, you know, Tyson, we don't work for the Social Security Administration.
Right.
There's many great people who do work there, but the reality is they cannot give you any advice when it comes to how and when you claim your own benefits. In fact, they're forbidden from giving you any advice. So what this means is you're completely on your own unless you talk to somebody that has a significant amount of experience in this arena. And quite frankly, many advisors miss this point altogether. They're so interested in going after how can we manage and help you manage your investments that they skip right over Social Security, and that's a big mistake.
In that same Forbes article that you mentioned earlier, Rai, the reality is that this gentleman, Lawrence Kotlikov, he's an expert as it relates to Social Security, and he talks about how many times, and again, these are good people, that when you walk into Social Security, they give you the wrong information. And we were not too long ago on a trip. We went with our wives, and it was amazing. We ran into this gentleman that worked for the Social Security Administration.
We thought this would be a good time to ask someone from the Social Security Administration what they thought about when you should take your Social Security benefits.
So we asked him that question. What do you tell people when they come in and talk about Social Security? When should they take their benefit? And he said, oh, that's simple. I tell everybody that you ought to take it at age 62. And we started saying, well, what about this? What about that? What about the other? And by the end, he's like, wow, there's a lot I don't know. Now, again, he was a great guy. He was trying to do the right thing. He thought he was giving the right information. But the bottom line is, this is confusing and complicated, and you need to take the right steps to really create this as a foundation to your income plan as it relates to retiring. Otherwise, you could be in a world of hurt.
That's exactly right. And the bottom line is if you simply take your Social Security benefits at face value, you could leave tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. Learn how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits that are rightfully yours with a free customized Social Security analysis. This is where you'll learn exactly when is the optimal time to get the most out of your benefits, how to reduce or eliminate the taxes on those benefits.
It's a big one.
And that's a big key. And if you're eligible for any additional benefits that could put thousands of dollars in your pocket every single year. We can only provide this service for a small number of viewers on today's show, and you've got to be able to qualify. So if you've saved at least $200,000 for retirement, be one of the first 10 callers right now. We'll run this Social Security analysis for you. Call us at 801-610-1234. Don't get cheated out of tens of thousands of dollars in benefits. Call right now.
As much as $10 billion in Social Security benefits go unclaimed every single year. How do you ensure that you don't miss out on getting your fair share? We'll have the answer coming up after the break.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Remember when life was simpler? When things didn't move quite so fast, and the world didn't seem so complex? Remember that? We do. And as the world around us has continued to speed up, becoming more complicated, and still a bit uncertain, we have managed to keep things simple, providing sound, easy-to-understand financial advice and customized roadmaps for the road ahead, from tax reduction strategies, investment advice, and guaranteed retirement income you cannot outlive, backed by the claims-paying ability of insurance companies. We can be your single point of contact, a single call, a voice you recognize well, and a partner who can be by your side for the entire journey. We can't stop the world around us, but we can help ensure you're prepared for what's to come. To schedule a no-obligation meeting, simply contact us today.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
I'm Tyson Thacker, along with my brother Ryan Thacker. Welcome back to Retirement Solutions Television.
Even if you've earned a modest income throughout your career, you've probably contributed more than $100,000 to Social Security. Let me repeat that. You've probably contributed at least $100,000 to Social Security.
That's not chump change.
It's no chump change. And if you've made an average income or better, it could be several $100,000. But claiming your benefits is riddled with rules, regulation, and government red tape. And if you make one simple mistake, it could cost you tens of thousands of dollars, possibly more. How and when you claim your Social Security benefit will make a big impact on your retirement. Coming up in this segment, we'll share more little-known strategies to wring every nickel out of your benefits. Plus, if you're eligible for additional benefits that you didn't even know existed, Tyson, this is a great time to talk about some examples. What are we seeing? Families that we come in, what are some of the ways that we're helping them maximize their benefits?
You know, the first one that comes to mind is there's so many people whose marriage doesn't work out. And a lot of people come in and say, I'm divorced, how does this impact me? And the good news is that there's a lot of options. For example, if you spent at least 10 years married and then you got divorced, you still have access to your ex-spouse's half of their income if it's more than what you have access to with your own Social Security benefit. You don't have to talk to that spouse. You don't have to worry about what's going to happen with their benefit. It doesn't impact them whatsoever. Even if that new spouse or that ex-spouse is married to a new spouse, you could still have access to funds from a divorce situation. Most people have no clue that that even exists.
Let me give you another example. Had a gentleman that came in, his wife had passed away a few years ago, and we were talking about what his Social Security strategy was, and he said, you know what, I'm just going to wait until I'm 66, I'm going to turn on my benefit, and that's what I'm going to do. And I said, well, hang on just a second, you mentioned that your wife passed away. Have you ever considered taking a widower benefit? And he said, widower benefit, what's that?
What are you talking about?
And I said, you know, tell me a little bit about your late wife. And so as we talked about it, we realized that he could take a widower benefit of $1,000 a month at age 60.
Not 62.
Not 62. This is one of those little known benefits. So what we did is we created a strategy for him that he was going to take his wife's widower benefit, and he was going to use that benefit $1,000 a month. Do the math. $1,000 a month times 12, $12,000 a year, right?
Yep.
He was going to take that for 10 years, and then he was going to turn on his own benefit. The benefit of doing that in his situation was a difference of $120,000. $12,000 a year times 10. He didn't even know about the widower benefit.
Unbelievable.
That's $120,000. When we talk about tens of thousands of dollars, this is what we're talking about. And his 8% on his benefit allowed to grow all the way from 62 to age 70. That means more money in his pocket in addition to that as he goes through retirement.
You know, you mentioning that example brought something else to mind. I've got a client who came in, the first time she had come in, her husband had died 3 years prior. And as we talked about that, you know, she was still heartbroken, and as I asked her all the important questions as it related to her plan, I recognized as I was talking through Social Security with her, she was still taking her benefit. And as we talked about what her husband's benefit was, it was double what her benefit was. And so here's the reality. For the last 3 years, she had been taking a lot less in income from her Social Security benefit than she could have. In other words, let's say his benefit was $2,000 and she was taking $1,000 of her own benefit. You have the right to be able to take that $2,000. In other words, the one that's larger, the benefit that's larger, you want to ensure that you're doing the right thing. There's so many of these that we can't cover all of them today, but it's so important to get the right information. Here's the bottom line. If you simply take your Social Security benefits at face value, you could leave tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. Learn how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits that are rightfully yours with a Social Security analysis. This is where you'll learn exactly when it's time to optimize your benefit, how you can reduce or eliminate your taxes on those benefits, and see if you're eligible for additional benefits that could put thousands of extra dollars in your pocket each and every year. Now, we can only provide this service for a small number of viewers who qualify, so if you've saved at least $200,000 for retirement, be one of the first 10 callers right now at 801-610-1234. Don't get cheated out of the tens of thousands of dollars in benefits that could be yours. Call the number right now on your screen.
If you take your Social Security benefits at face value, you could leave tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. Coming up next, we'll reveal more strategies on how to wring every nickel out of your benefits that are rightfully yours. Join us after the break.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
You're on the back nine heading for the clubhouse. Your dreams of spending time with family and enjoying retirement are just within reach. What happens if you end up in the rough? In these uncertain times, it's crucial to be prepared with sound advice. Boss Retirement Solutions is one of Utah's premier retirement planning specialists. For a complimentary consultation, call 801-610-1234. Boss Retirement Solutions. Plan to retire well.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Welcome back to Retirement Solutions Television, and thanks for joining us.
When is the optimal time to claim your Social Security benefits? And how could you pay fewer taxes on those benefits And is it possible that you're eligible for even more benefit than that you could put thousands of dollars in your pocket every single year? Coming up in this segment, we want to share more of these little-known strategies to help you wring every nickel out of your benefits that are rightfully yours. And Ryan, we talked about some important pieces of the equation last time. I feel like it's really important for us to now talk about how to maximize and maybe even talk about the difference between optimization and maximization.
Yes, great. You know, I think sometimes we talk about these little known strategies and we don't talk about the basics. Some of the basics are, when can you start taking your Social Security? You can start taking, in most cases, at age 62. Now, 50% of men and 60% of women approximately will take their Social Security at 62. There's really a lot of reasons for that. Sometimes their body's broken and they just want to start taking a check.
We've definitely seen that with a lot of our clients.
Absolutely. Some of you out there, what you do is you start taking it at 62 because you don't think that they're going to continue to send checks, which can be a big mistake. Or that's the way your spouse did it, or that's the way a brother-in-law did it, or that's the way a coworker did it.
Well, and absolutely that's true. The average male takes Social Security at 62 50% of the time.
Yeah.
Women, it's 60% of the time. So this is not uncommon.
That's right. Now, if you let your benefit grow, the benefit to you, if you go from 62 to 63, from 63 to 64, every year that you delay taking your benefit, it will increase by 8%. Think about that.
That's a big deal.
Where can you get 8% on your money? You can from Social Security by letting that grow and build. Now, there's also what's considered a full retirement age. If you're watching this show, this will be a little bit different for all of you. Now, it could be 65, it could be 66, it could be 66 in a few months, all the way up to 67. If you haven't noticed, they're continuing to push this out on when your full retirement age is. And what's the delayed retirement age, Tyson?
Delayed retirement age, the end game, you're not going to get any more money after the age of 70. And so there's no reason to wait after the age of 70 to try to maximize Social Security. And this really brings up the topic of this maximization and optimization. Every single person who walks through our door, when we give them a Social Security analysis, we not only just focus on Social Security. If that's all you're doing, you're making a mistake, because there is so much more that you should be focused on. It's the entire retirement game plan. It's the Boss Retirement Blueprint that we talk about that's going to help you to understand which piece, when, and how you should take it. Let me give you an example. We recently had a gentleman come in, and he had a pension, he had a 401k, he had an IRA, he had a brokerage account, and he told us, hey, I'm focused on Social Security. Just tell me straight up what we can save you. In that example, we were saving him right around $100,000. Mm-hmm. But when we took into account his pension and his 401k and his IRA as well, and we created an income stream that was focused on Social Security and all of the rest at the same time, it was well into the high 180s, 190s that we helped him get additional income over his lifetime.
Well, and the mistake that some families will make is they will try to maximize Social Security in a vacuum. But you need to take all of the other counts into consideration, and that's what we consider
the optimization.
The optimization of Social Security. Very, very important when you look at your overall plan.
That's right. The maximization would be, we show everybody as well how to wring every nickel out of Social Security, but most often it's the optimization that we show people that makes the most sense.
That's exactly right.
Here's the bottom line. If you simply take your Social Security benefits at face value, you could leave tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. Ryan, it's important for everyone to learn how they can wring every nickel out of Social Security, their benefit that's rightfully yours. Come see us for your own free Social Security analysis. This is where you'll learn exactly when is the optimal time to get the most out of your benefits, how you could reduce or even eliminate your taxes on these benefits, and if you're eligible for additional benefits that literally could put thousands of dollars in your pocket every single year. Now, keep in mind we can only provide this service for a small number of viewers who qualify, so if you've saved at least $200,000 for retirement, be one of the first 10 callers right now at 801-610-1234.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
People ask me all the time why I got into this business, and there was two reasons. Number one, I wanted to make a difference in people's lives, and this is such a fun thing to see people's lives change as they are able to retire and really live their dreams. Number two, I really wanted to do something that I could stay close to home. I was born and raised right here at the Contwood Hospital in Murray, Utah, and lived in Utah my entire life. It's something that I always had a goal to stay in Utah because of the lifestyle, because of the mountains being so close, the family atmosphere. Love living in Utah. We do have a big family. I come from a family of 7 kids. My mom was raised in Murray, Utah. My dad grew up in Heber. Both of them are through and through the best people that you will ever meet. Our mom is someone without guile. Our dad is a humble man who loves people. And together they're a powerful match that taught us great values and really taught us how to love and how to be together and what the difference it makes when people are a part of your life. It's such a family-centered culture, and that's why I love being in Utah.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Welcome back to Retirement Solutions Television. I'm Ryan Thacker along with my brother Tyson, and we are the Retirement Brothers.
You've contributed as much as 6.2% of every single paycheck to Social Security. And keep in mind your employer has also matched that at another 6.2%. So as much as 12.4% of your earnings go to Social Security, and add that up over 40 or 50 years, it could make your 401k look like a minuscule little piece of your pie. But unfortunately, claiming your benefits is riddled with rules, regulations, and red tape. And if you make one mistake, you could lose out on tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in lifetime benefits. Coming up in this segment, we'll share more little-known strategies to help you wring every nickel out of your benefits. And Ryan, as we were getting ready for this last segment, we thought back to one of our first jobs that we ever did together. It was a furniture store, right? We delivered furniture.
Yeah, one of our first paychecks, and think about this, 12.4% of every one of your paychecks has been going into this retirement plan called Social Security. Now, many people think that Social Security is an entitlement program. It's not. It's a retirement program. And if you go all the way back to working at the swimming pool, working at a construction site, or flipping hamburgers, you've had 12.4% of your check going into Social Security.
Now, one of the things that you haven't mentioned yet, Ryan, is that 12.4% was a big deal in ours because as we delivered that furniture, every time we wrecked some of the furniture, that would get taken out of our paycheck. So that became an even bigger piece of the pie because we didn't make that much money.
And that's why you don't want us moving your furniture, right? Because here's the big deal. Is if you look at this paycheck, we want to help you get every single nickel out that is rightfully yours. You've paid far too long and far too much money into this just to make a snap decision. And so having a strategy and having a plan, this is what the Boss Retirement Blueprint and the Social Security analysis is all about. We start with the foundation, which is income. And for most of you watching this show today, 1/3 of your income on average will come from Social Security. And so this is something that you need to get right because if you don't, it'll cost you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Now, in our last segment, we talked about the difference between optimization and maximization. Now, we need to add to that, this is a customized plan. And the Boss Retirement Blueprint helps you to not only create that foundation with income that you mentioned, but usually Social Security is that foundation to the income plan. Then there's some other things that we can do, but it's a customized plan in 5 different areas. Ryan, what are those 5 different areas?
So first one is having a cash bucket available so that when emergency expenses come up, you have the ability to do and take care of those. We usually recommend 6 months worth of expenses or living expenses to do that. Number 2 is the income bucket. This is where you start with Social Security. That's going to cover about 1/3. Where's the other 2/3 of your money for retirement going to come from? The third bucket is the inflation bucket on the blueprint. That tells you how you're going to have a strategy that when expenses go up in retirement, how you're going to pay for those. The fourth one is growth. You're going to want to measure risk, look at your long-term growth strategies, how your investments are placed with allocation. And number 5, we're going to talk about legacy. And legacy is so, so important.
It is. When you take into account all 5 of these pieces and you customize it with Social Security and the rest of your 401k, your IRA, your brokerage accounts, you're going to get the peace of mind that you always hoped that you would have. What we like to say is we help you to get to and through retirement with the Boss Retirement Blueprint. We feel strongly that this is something that everybody needs and not enough folks get.
And here's the bottom line. If you simply take your Social Security benefits at face value, you could leave tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. Learn how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits that are rightfully yours with a customized Social Security analysis. This is where you'll learn exactly when is the optimal time to get the most out of your benefits, how you could reduce or even possibly eliminate the taxes on these benefits, and if you're eligible for additional benefits that could put thousands of dollars in your pocket every single year.
That's right.
Unfortunately, we can only provide this service for a small number of viewers who qualify. So if you saved at least $200,000 for retirement, be one of the first 10 callers on today's show. Call us right now at 801-701-1234. Again, that's 801-610-1234. Don't get cheated out of tens of thousands of dollars in benefit. Call 801-610-1234 right now.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
It's your retirement. How will you live it? How will you be remembered?
Will you be able to take me on vacation?
Will you be there for my ball games?
Will you teach me your values? You'll be able to play with me.
Oh, help me go to college. How will I remember you?
Have the retirement you dream about. Ask BossRetirement.com.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Thanks for watching today's show. If you'd like to start a conversation, give us a call or go to our website. We'd be happy to talk to you.
Remember, retiring successfully doesn't happen by accident. We'll see you next week.